The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yes.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Communicate with clarity. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all our relationships would change. There'd be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 56, NASDAQ up 8, S&P's flat. Gold contract up $15.90, trading at $1,528 an ounce. Silver up 57 cents at $35.98 an ounce. Platinum down $19 at $1,721 an ounce. Copper off a penny at $4.33 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $96.64. Bonds up 14 ticks at 123.20. Dollar index up 39 at 75.38. Euro off 11 at 143. And the yen down 15, trading out at 80.92. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? You go back to the 31st, first off. 31st of May. What we did there, folks, is that we hit the 1345.20. We did that with monster volume, 1.5 billion. Then we came off that baby with 1.1. We came into that first acceleration up, which was on Friday. We got to the 1341. Yesterday was testing it with the 1340. Today we at 1340. You did 820 million versus 1.9 versus 1.5. Bottom line is that it's having a tough time up at this 1345.20. I suspect it's going to get tagged. Today it got real close. It hit the 1340.94. Yesterday was 1340.89. The thing wants to get tagged. I'd like to see it tagged sooner rather than later. That's your S&P. When we take a look at the Dow Industrials, what the Dow did, Dow goes up 56 points. Dow's over the 12,574 area. Bottom line, yesterday it went up, closed underneath it. So that's saying that, yes, the Dow can go higher. You close over it, whether it's volume there or not, you can go to a higher swing point. That higher swing point would be about 50 points higher. And where I'm bringing it actually is the bottom of a swing versus the top of a swing. We go to the NASDAQ Composite. We take a look at the NASDAQ Composite. NASDAQ Composite is up $8 today. Composite is going after and got into the 2835.34. Now, we did it today. You got in there. We got in there. And that same day, folks, is the May 31st time frame. We did that with 1.6 billion shares versus 2.5 billion. So you get when you get over it, you close under it. Basically, that's a failure. You know, we'll see how we back down out of this area, but this is the area that basically can't handle. We look at the 3 Qs. What the 3 Qs did is this. 3 Qs were at 58.39. The 58.36 is where we had 47 million shares. You did 46 million shares out here. You're going into the downdraft from the 16th of May. And the 16th of May, it was 58.32, and that's where we came downtown with 73 million shares traded. We go over and we take a look at the SPY. What the SPY did, SPY, 135 million shares. The high of the 31st is 134.97. We hit the 134.14 today. I suspect that is going to get tagged up there at the 134.92. We'll see whether it can handle it or not. Today, you did 135 million shares versus the $164 million. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We take a look at the gold market. What gold did out here today, gold's up $15, traded 133,000 contracts, and that's not enough to get that by the downdraft either. We came down on 238,000 contracts. That was the second downdraft in the gold market. That was from June 23rd. The first one, we came down to 248,000 contracts. We've been in some heavy distribution in gold since April. So we'll see. Looks like it's going to attack that 1548, 49 area. We'll see whether it can take it over. Each and every time that you have come down, though, it's been pretty dramatic. If we go look at the GLD, what you have inside the GLD is this. We did 14 million shares. That 14 million is going into 35, going into 51, and going into 24. Let's go to Friedman in Dallas, Texas. Hey, Friedman, what's going on?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, man. And, hey, listen, man, we really appreciate you listening, and we love that new station down there, KGAM.
You're coming out nice and clear, too. That's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome, man. Now, listen, have you always listened to me, or did you just pick me up on that station?
No. I always listen to you, Basil, Bud, on TFNN. I used to listen on the website, but now I don't need to podcast you anymore.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Could I look at RENN, Tom, RENN? I'm getting scared of it now because it's moving too much.
Let's take a look. You got RENN, RENN. This is operates internet website, play online games, listen to music. The lows 6, the highs 26. They lose 30 cents. So what are we doing with this thing? What are you doing with this?
I'm already up. I got it when it was a little bit lower. You still going back to the IPO price, by any chance?
Well, what you have is this, folks. Okay, so if we bring this back, let me just see when this. Okay, so this went. Okay, so it's an IPO. I see on the May 11th. It just went IPO. Went IPO at $14. Well, that's a trip. Went IPO at $14 and then goes straight down to $6. Okay, so you're at 1070. Yeah, you know the way this is working out. Yeah, you might want to. You're gonna want to buy a pullback somewhere around 824.
Oh, okay.
And where I'm going with that, Freeman, is this. So what you did here, folks, is this. You have the first day it sold off big time. Okay, it was an IPO at 14. It opened at 1950 rather. Went up to $24. Closed at 18. Comes all the way back down. You know, gets kind of really smoked. They'll give you bought it at 24. Goes to 12. Then takes the next leg down to 6. Now, what it's done is this. It's come off the bottom. Not a huge amount of strength, but I suspect as long as it comes back into this 870 with lighter volume, then you'll build up some strength. This looks like it's going to try to get back into the $15 area again. That's the way it's set up.
All right, thanks a lot, Tommy.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one. Let's go over to some of the high-volume stocks out here today, folks. What you had Research in Motion. That equity is in tough shape, down $1.20. We had Alcoa down 15. Charles Schwab was off 65. News Corporation was down 66. Citigroup was off 57. We go over to Goldman Sachs. You take a look at Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs was down 61. Now, what's interesting about Goldman Sachs, folks, is this. When we look at Goldman Sachs has been getting sold off in a big way. The highs in Goldman Sachs go all the way back to 09, which was the 193. Right now, you're at 133. The 133 area brings you all the way back to April of 09. Well, what comes out today, folks, is that Goldman Sachs, in the middle of the financial downdraft, okay, took the largest loan from the Federal Reserve Bank. And we're talking December 9th, 2008, nothing like it. $15 billion. There's nothing like having a good old Uncle Ben Bernanke and basically Goldman Sachs and the rest of these banks owning the Federal Reserve. Bottom line, the only way that this information actually come out, too, folks, the Fed didn't want this information out. It was Bloomberg News again that basically did the Freedom of Information Act, but you can see how long it takes. We're talking December 2009. Yeah, nothing like a couple years to get it out. Now, why is that important? Well, if you remember that Lloyd Blankfein, he went in front of Congress and he said, no, absolutely, that Goldman Sachs didn't need any money, because what this was about, actually, he wasn't talking about this part. He was talking about the backdoor bailout. They were questioning Lloyd Blankfein about the backdoor bailout from AIG. If you remember, when they bailed out AIG, there was a $12 billion payment from AIG to Goldman Sachs. That's separate from this payment right here. So the bottom line, you know, we'll see where, we know where it's going to shake out. Nothing's going to happen. But the bottom line is that at least it's out in the open at this particular point. They can claim all they want that they didn't need the money. But bottom line, they needed the money, and they needed the money bad. Why? Because what happened during that time, folks, is that you couldn't turn over the paper, and you couldn't turn over the cash flow. And of course, if you can't turn over the cash flow, they were owing someone. Everyone was owing someone, and everyone always owes someone in the financial business. Bottom line, they couldn't turn over that cash flow. Let's go and we take a look at the bond market. What we have with bonds out here, 30-year bond today, 293,000 contracts, trading at 123.19. That little baby is making her way back up to this 125.11. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see how we get here, because, of course, what you have today, well, the S&P was flat out here today. You know, Dow is up a little, but bonds are basically moving topside again. What that's saying is that what you do have is that you have a situation where money is going back in them, even though the interest rates are so low. So inside the market, inside the bond market itself out here, you had the 2-year flat. The 10-year was up 5 ticks, yielding 3.1. The 30 years yielding 4.38. And the 2 years paying basically 0.4%. We take a look at the oil market out here. The well, actually, let's go over to Transocean. What we have with Transocean out here today, folks, Transocean was down $2. Some monster volume. Now, Transocean is in trouble again. You know, Transocean has been in a huge downdraft. That downdraft has taken Transocean from $85 down to $62. What you had intraday out here is that they have another rig that's in some trouble. That's what it comes down to. This rig is in off the Ghana coast. Right now it's cracked. That's the Transocean Falls, the session low. There's a crack in one of the platoons taking on water and listing. You know, so a lot of oil down in Ghana. We'll see where that whole thing does shake out. We take a look at Apple, a good old Apple. Apple is still running the NASDAQ 100 and the composite in general. NASDAQ today was up 2.33. What is it doing? It's going into that swing point of the 352. Hit it today out here with 15 million versus 19. That's not bad. That puts the 355 in place. And we're at 354. It hit 354.10 today. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We had the Dow up 56, NASDAQ up 8, S&P's flat. We're going to be right back, folks.